Warning, this show is hosted by a bunch of smoking and drinking assholes. Basically, the APA. But, not actually tough. You have been warned.
By the band. Now, Turner Home Entertainment is putting their foot down as the mighty enforcers of the NWA stand tall for freedom and take aim at the bad guys. Capital Combat Lucky, with special appearance by RoboCop. See Ric Flair act as executioner. His world heavyweight title in a death-defying cage match with total package Lex Luger. The Steiners use SWAT team tactics as they strong-arm Doom. Norman and the Road Warriors take on the Tough Guys in a six-man tag team rumble. And the ultimate showdown between good and evil. Sting.
Wait, they give that away in the...
Watch as they show off their might and metal in Capital Combat 90. Priced at just $39.28 per cassette. This monumental wrestling event contains the greatest stars in their most grueling events.
So before you make your next move,
think it over, Creed. Only from Turner Home Entertainment. Capital Combat 90. Buying anything else would be a capital offense.
Buying anything else would be a capital offense.
That was $40 in the year 19... Oh, God.
It was a special level of bad.
Wow. I have a lot to say about that, but I'm going to let you do our intro first.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Such Good Shoot, where our panel discusses anything and everything wrestling. In the blue corner, hailing from the state with way too many teddy bears, representing the old school, weighing in tonight at 1 bazillion nanograms, Isaac!
What's up?
And in the red corner, from the state that Drew Carey represents, showcasing the modern era of wrestling, weighing in tonight at 1/32 the weight of RoboCop, we have Shane!
What's going on, y'all?
And representing Joe's Six-Pack, I'm your host, Dozer. Let's get it on! Okay, Isaac, you had something to say about that wonderful, wonderful commercial?
Yeah, why'd they give away, like, the big gimmick of the whole match? Like, the whole thing is built on RoboCop making that fucking save, and they show that shit in the commercial? What the fuck was that? They just show all the finishes, too?
I mean, dude, I don't know, man. That show, just an absolute mess. We'll get there. Dozer, I don't know if you had this plan, but real quick before we get going, I did want to pause the show just a little bit, and obviously not write anything off as of right now, but send condolences to Shad Gaspar's family as well as his loved ones, friends. Obviously heartbreaking news coming out yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Just horrible.
Ago.
That was 2 days ago now.
By the time this is posted, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just horrible, heartbreaking news. I think I speak for everyone on the show. When I say that just horrible news for wrestling, and then obviously just for everyone involved. So thoughts, prayers, just go out to everyone who knew Shad.
Yeah, for real. It's tragic. It was really sad.
Cheers, Solancha, to a better life.
Dozier?
Okay. So this week for our round table, we want to discuss finishers. They're the highlight of the match. They're the finish. They're what's going to drive it home and give you a winner and a loser in this match. But not
what a better way. What a better way to start a show, but with finishers.
Yes.
It's almost
but
like
not
it's an indie show.
Yeah, but not every finisher can be a winner, and a hell of a lot of them are losers.
Oh, big time.
So tonight we're going to break them down into 4 categories. We got the ones that look strong as shit, but aren't actually strong as shit. People pop right up from them left and right. We have the ones that look strong and are protected as such. We have the ones that are weak and protected. And finally, we have the ones that are not protected and weak as shit anyway. So let's go around first and talk about those finishers that come off strong. People get hit with them. They stay down, but they don't really look like they should put a big, tough-ass man down. Isaac, what do you got?
Well, I'm going to start this off with actually one of everybody's favorite finishers, I feel like. Like, everybody loves it, but it's the Stone Cold Stunner. It's protected, but you see it, and you're like, half the time he doesn't actually connect with the kick. And then, like, yeah, it just doesn't, like, when you think about it and you, like, watch it, you're like, that doesn't look so devastating. Like, I could probably take one of those myself.
That is definitely a move, all in the cell.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, compare like Scott Hall at WrestleMania versus the first one Vince McMahon took, the fish flop.
I don't know, man. I love the fish flop.
It was so bad, but it was so good.
Stunned him so bad he had a seizure, dude.
Yeah, well, that part wasn't bad. It was just the way he took it. It was so bad.
Well, and then you compare it to The Rock, who takes it and, like, ping-pongs off of 7 ropes.
Oh, yeah, he just bounces around the ring.
Well,
like
they used to have bets for, like, 12 packs of beer, like, about how crazy The Rock could sell, like, Stone Cold's move, like at least the Stunner. Like when they were doing the house show circuit and stuff, I heard some interview where Stone Cold was talking about it. Yeah, they used to bet 12 packs of beer, like The Rock couldn't make it more ridiculous.
Give Shawn Michaels a shot at it.
He'll end up in the next show still selling it.
Just staggering. Yep.
Shane, what do you have for protected but weak?
You know, I got to go with the easy one, and this is something that Isaac and I have talked about. But Santino Marella's Cobra, obviously not in use anymore because he retired. But like one person kicked out of the Cobra when it actually connected ever, and it's just him poking you in the chin, usually
the nose
somewhere,
yeah.
like somewhere in the upper half of your body. Like,
yeah, and it's like and you
he
think
pretty
about
much just too sweets you.
Yeah, but you think about this, the face strikes people take constantly, and then like one little poke in the face, and that's it.
Yeah, a Cobra's got to be it.
Might be the most protected move ever.
No.
Well, almost. In WWE.
And see, I am going to go with the Judas effect. Because at the end of the day, it's an elbow and or backhand strike that suddenly is knocking people down left and right, and nobody gets up from it. You get hit with it, you're gone.
It's true, and he doesn't use it that often.
Yeah, he only hit Pineapple Pete with it once, and Pineapple Pete was dead.
He murdered poor Pete. Cracked his little pineapple right open.
He got him out of there, dude.
Yeah. Okay, Shane, we got those finishers that are not protected, but actually look kind of strong.
Really, you know, I look at somebody like, I gotta go. I mean, to be honest, I gotta go curb stomp from Seth. Like when Seth first did that move, nobody kicked out of it at all. And then they stopped letting him use it, and then they brought it back. And then like Lesnar kicked out of it about 400 times. That fucking match where everything was red and it was versus the Fiend, and like he curb stomps the Fiend like literally 18 times in that match, and then you know the Fiend just goes, okay, whatever, man. Like to me, and like a lot of like, it's not really something that it's constantly not protected, but it always just seems like it's one of those things that he just does over and over and over again against these boss monsters. and then it just looks strong. Sorry, it just looks weak as hell. Like I remember I was looking at my dad when we were watching, and I was like, at this point, I could take a curb stomp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I did love it though. There was a couple of those that were just so sick. His one
No,
on
I think
Randy
it's a great
into
great
the
move.
RKO. That was dope. But yeah, they've done a real shit job at dealing with that one.
Isaac, what do you got for us in this realm?
Let's see. So looks strong but not protected.
Yeah.
I mean, the one that comes to mind, the one that like, I don't know, dude, always like looked like it would hurt to take regardless, was like a strong DDT. Like there's
Okay.
something about getting your forehead, especially when you get one of the ones that flip you, like just getting your head spiked, getting your forehead planted. And I mean, you know, like when Jake the Snake first did that, you didn't kick out. And now it's just an everyday move, you know?
Yeah. Jake the Snake's DDT, protected as shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then you got Big Dick Trev just landing on the top of his head at least 3 times a match.
Yeah, you know, and like I guess Johnny Moxley's got his sort of DDT variation.
That's the paradigm shift, dude.
Yeah, and that, I mean, and that's, you know, it's definitely a variation, and that's fairly protected, but not really. I mean, not after WWE.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, like if you look at the paradigm shift comparative to the Dirty Deeds, it is a lot more protected in AEW. And then he has like the Death
Totally.
Rider, and then he has like the Death Rider version where it's like a driver version of it. The Death Rider is gnarly, especially when he was in New Japan.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that. But yeah, I just remember seeing like DDTs and like you would see it end a match, and now you see it like just as like another move in the match.
Or power bombs now. You know what I mean?
Same
People
thing.
kick out
Yeah.
power bombs like nothing.
Power bombs and choke slams.
And for me, this is a little bit different because back in his first run, this move was protected as shit. But now in his newer run, now granted, he's only having big matches, and obviously I'm talking about Brock Lesnar here. The F5, it does look strong, even though you're just falling on your face. But now, he has to do 3 or 4 of them to put down most of his opponents compared to back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Where you hit the F5, match was over. It's lost its protection.
The weird thing about the F5 is it really depends on what kind of match they have. Like if you look at his match versus Big Dick Trev over in Saudi Arabia, I mean, that was one F5 to a finish. And I think he did the same shit to Joe, like a couple years ago when Joe got his title shot. And like they had this really strong back and forth, and then Joe got caught with one, and then he was just done. But then you look at like Braun Strowman and Goldberg and Taker and Roman and Seth
Cena.
They're just
big match Cena. No, and that's the thing though, is like when you start seeing like all of those guys kicking out, then when you see a guy like Samoa Joe get pinned on one, you're like,
yeah,
damn, dude,
it
what
makes
the fuck?
Joe look so bad. Yeah,
and it's like, dude, they did Joe dirty. They did fucking Big Dick Trev dirty. You know, like Samoa Joe
why
definitely
even put him
deserves.
in that match?
Yeah, I mean Samoa Joe definitely deserves better than that against a big man. You know, he's like a big dude. Like I get it. Like in a real fight, Lesnar against fucking Big Dick, like dude, Big Dick is getting squished, like no doubt. But it's a wrestling match. Like let him do something.
Yeah, I mean Joe especially. I mean Joe is an actual like badass. Like all you ever hear about is him just kicking the shit out of dudes backstage. Like Joe is a respected and feared man. Like
you take one look at him. You don't need to know anything other than you just take one look at him. I wouldn't want to deal with
him at all.
And you know he can kick some fucking ass. Oh. He's a tough boy.
You know he's tough as he's the only Samoan in the business not related to The Rock.
Yeah.
Don't know how that happened.
But
I'm sure somewhere we can find a.
But the thing is, you have to remember is that there is a Samoan in the WWE named Joe who is related to The Rock.
We're not allowed to talk about him though.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Great, we're banned in Afghanistan again. Okay. We have that finishers. Do we want to go with the strong of the strong or the weak of the week first?
Let's go strong.
Yeah.
Week
Okay.
is the most fun to talk about.
So-
week, I don't even know what I'm doing. So strong works for me
Yeah.
right now.
So
I already told you the week.
for me, the protected and strong finisher is the RKO. I like the move. It looks good. And there are definitely times it looks like it can end a match.
Oh, I love the RKO.
And it's rather well protected given how long it's been in use.
I got you.
Absolutely.
It like obviously whenever you're getting into runs that are over a decade long, people are going to kick out of things occasionally, but it still finishes like 90% of his matches. The only one of Randy's moves that may be stronger is the punt when they rarely allow him to use it.
And the punt is definitely one of the ones I was thinking of choosing because it is so well protected and it looks so fucking devastating when he connects. Like,
Yeah,
really.
no, I mean, RKO, the only reason I kind of grimaced is because you've seen people kick out of it. But the more I'm thinking about it, yeah, I mean, like, if somebody gets hit with an RKO and then the match ends, I'm just like, okay, like I might feel underwhelmed or something, but I'm like,
How
okay,
often
that makes sense.
But how often does somebody take more than one of them in a match?
Almost never. I mean, unless it's like a Mania or
Almost
you know,
never. Yeah.
or like a SummerSlam, like a big card,
Big
big
card
fight sort of deal.
and probably a title on the line.
Yeah.
Isaac, what do you got for us?
Well, now all I got stuck in my head is the punt, but because that just is such a good one. I'm just trying to think. I mean, I want to say punt now, but I think when I mean they don't do it often anymore, but the last ride was a fucking badass fucking power bomb. Looked fucking devastating and usually fucking ended the match just like that. I mean, the way he elevated somebody, you're like, God damn. And the other one would maybe be the jackknife from Kevin Nash. That was super protected, and good lord, did it look like it fucking hurt to take. Like, at least the fucking last ride looks somewhat protected, whereas Nash, he just got you up there and just threw you. It was like, who cares?
You know, you have moves like that done by legit big men, and then you see somebody like Gregory Helms doing a power bomb, and you're like, what the fuck?
Right? I feel like it just doesn't really have the same impact when it's not coming from a 7-footer.
Man, I kind of disagree because I mean, KO's not a small dude, but KO's pop-up power bomb is good shit.
Well, a lot of that is he's a big man and he puts all his force into it.
Yeah.
But it's always worse when it's that the pop up on the apron. That's devastating from him. That always looks brutal.
Isaac, what do you got for us here?
Well, that was me. I just went.
I am confused. I'm tired. I have a
I'm the one smoking a blunt, man.
Yeah, sorry, Shane. I'll go next.
Shane's turn.
Yeah, so I'm gonna actually go out of the WWE for this one.
I know what is coming then.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be Kenta Kobashi's Burning Hammer. I mean, the burning hammer, as far as the way it looks, he literally just sets you up in like a torture rack sort of deal, and then drops you directly onto the back of your neck. He used it like 7 times in his entire career. It is literally the definition of a finishing maneuver because he didn't use it every match. Literally, the only time he used it is when he needed to, and it was never kicked out of ever.
No argument there.
Can't argue that.
Yeah, I mean, it is to me beyond just being super dangerous. Like I love neck spots. Like I love super dangerous wrestling. Me and Isaac kind of get into it with that every once in a while. Like, it's something that I don't think needs to really exist anymore. But as far as being a finisher, it is the dictionary definition of a finisher. It's
Well,
not used very often. When it was used, it wasn't kicked out of.
You might as well just take their heart out and eat it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do dangerous wrestling, the finish in big matches is the only place to do it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Or you could go wrestle in CZW and do it all the time. But anyways,
most of those guys are going to die of
Wrestle.
mercury poisoning anyway.
ain't nothing wrong with a little light tube in your blood, dude.
Okay. Isaac, what do you have for us for those not protected and the weak ass finisher?
Well, I think you should play the clip.
Yeah,
because nobody's seen this, and it's so bad, and it's not protected because it's Brian Saxton, and nobody is fucking laying down for Brian Saxton, and it actually has its own name, and it's called the Saxtonation, and we'll roll it.
And now Novak thinking perhaps the beginning of the end for Saxton. Great defense now. Byron Saxton. Forward and back, just combobulated. Scheme. Jacob Novak.
Devastating. He literally pushed him onto his back.
what the fuck did I just watch?
Oh, the Saxtonation, man, the weakest weak finisher of all time. I think the only ones that can like really fall in the same like maybe like the Kali head chop.
Yeah, but that was protected.
Yes, you're right. God, you're right. Fuck. Even towards the end, though, I feel like at the end people kicked out of that all the time.
Yeah, because he was an absolute joke. When they treated him seriously, nobody kicked out.
Yeah, but by the time the end of it came around, that head chop, and he used to use, what was it, the head vice? Where
he just picked you up by the noggin. And,
well, he would just hold your head until you got bored, and then you fell asleep. he lost the match because he had to go to bed because Kali is so fucking boring.
Hold on, I'm going to pull mine up now because, by the time you're getting to this point, you're mainly talking about odd moves and maybe even comedy spots. What? This shouldn't be this hard to find. There we go. Now, I will say, this move is both protected and not protected at the same time, and as it shows, I will explain.
Schrodinger's finisher.
Yeah, that's what I just said. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's a fucking worm.
The most protected bulldog in the business, right
Here
there.
goes one of the hip hop twins.
Just imagine Jibble fucking trying to sell this finisher, dude. The man with the goddamn lariat from heck.
Time, but he's feeling it now. Easy worm. Easy worm. The worm from Scotty Too Hottie.
Oh, no, 3MB!
That was our champion. That was Big Drew, man. Good Lord.
No, the person taking that was former WWE heavyweight champion Jinder Mahal, dude.
No, that was Drew.
Was that Drew?
That was current champion Drew. Jinder was on the fucking apron. Yeah,
That
he was in the
Drew on the mat. Oh.
That was Drew. That was Drew taking that. Yep.
And I guess.
Yep.
Wait, that is the most protected bulldog in the business, right?
Oh,
No,
God.
dude, he builds up so much momentum from this, and then,
Unbelievable.
He was gassed after doing the move. It had to be the finish.
Oh, my God. Oh, the worm.
Honorable mention to the Caterpillar.
You had to spell it.
I mean, at least the Caterpillar has big man Otis. If Otis were to do the Caterpillar into like a splash, I don't think it'd be that bad.
Can you imagine him having to spell caterpillar hopping around the ring though?
Yeah.
C-A-T.
No, to be C-A-T-E-R. Techie! And then he'd forget what was happening, and then, you know.
He'll forget how
my
to spell
God.
it midway through and just make up letters.
No, like, you know, he would just forget what he was doing when he hit T because he'd Techie and then just move on.
Oh, man.
But, hot take here, Otis does a worm better than Scotty.
Yeah, it's definitely more
big, yeah.
impressive.
Way
Yeah.
more impressive.
He gets more lift off of his.
Well, he's got that big belly. That big belly is like a fulcrum. Really gets him rocking.
I've forgotten what we're talking about.
We are talking about the weakest
week. Okay.
Yeah, you're weak and weak and weak.
The weak finishers that aren't protected, because I don't think I ever actually saw him win a match with this fucker.
So what do you got, Shane?
All right, so I can't like in like I want to say No Way Jose's baseball pitch thing, but he wasn't in WWE long enough for me to really count that. Like, he won a couple matches, so it's kind of protected. Like, I don't think anybody ever kicked out.
I picked the Saxtonation, bro.
I mean, no. So I'm gonna take a really legendary finisher that's kind of become a joke, and that's the sharpshooter.
I feel the same way about the figure four.
Yeah. I mean, like,
too many people do them.
Yeah, I mean, think about Bret Hart and him finishing pretty much every match with that sharpshooter. This wasn't.
He killed Stone Cold with that shit.
Yeah.
Like
he
rendered him unconscious.
I mean, think about guys like Zack Sabre Jr. or like Daniel Bryan or anything like that, and then think about 100 people using their move and literally everybody getting out of it. Like, and like, this is no fault of like Cesaro or Natalia. Like Natalia's is kind of protected because it's her actual finish. But like, Cesaro for a long time just did the sharpshooter every single match, and people would be in it for like 2 minutes and then just like end up crawling to the ropes. And like, you didn't get that with Bret, man. Like you saw Bret and you saw the sharpshooter, and generally it was done. And if it wasn't done, he was going to end up back in the maneuver 5 minutes later and then finish it.
Well, and it's the same thing with the figure four, though. When Ric Flair did it, he would put you out. But then you see like the Miz doing it, and like, even when Ric Flair did it, you go and watch that, and I'm sorry, like, it just looks like there's two men laying on their back with their legs tangled together.
Yeah. I mean, the sharpshooter. I mean, the sharpshooter kind of looks like it hurts just by the way your back is bent. Figure four is probably a better.
Yeah, figure four probably actually is more painful than the sharpshooter, though.
I don't know, man. Or like, you look at a fucking Boston Crab, dude. I love Jericho to death. The Walls of Jericho is awful, especially the current Walls of Jericho, which is still a finishing move, and people don't kick out of that or get out of it really. But Boston Crabs, man.
Especially when you compare his Walls of Jericho to the Tamer. Yeah, the Lion Tamer was so good.
It was gnarly, dude. Knee right into the back of your neck, and you're just crinkled over in a not comfortable way. But unfortunately, you can't do that in a lot of guys. Most guys aren't as limber as like a Ray or a Dean or a name redacted
or a Big Dick Trevor.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of these guys can't take that move. But yeah, I mean, my answer is still the sharpshooter, man. Okay. Like, it doesn't look like it hurts that bad, and as of now, people get out of it like it's nothing.
So I'm going to add in a bonus category here, right now.
Yes, because I have bonuses, lots of them.
Finishers that were protected by the original guy, but now are bullshit. We've already touched on the DDT, the sharpshooter. I'm adding in Shawn Michaels' super kick, the sweet chin music. He did that, boom, over. Yeah, some people kicked out of points, but it was a finish. Now you have people doing it mid-match all day, every day. Same fucking move. Like.
Yeah.
I mean, we already went over the DDT. I mean, I think, we went over the power bomb. We went over
choke slams. A good choke slam is always a good one. I do have a couple that are, it's not related, but that are finishers that were over. like people like the Worm, for example, that were just over with the crowd and were god fucking awful.
Yeah, just say Edge's spear already.
Well, no, Edge's spear, we know that, and I think it's slow hanging fruit. No, I'm going to talk about the Road Dogg pump handle slam, where he fucks you in the ass, gives you a weak ass pump handle slam, and then crotch chops over you before pinning you.
Dude, I mean, I think that's way worse than mine, which is literally just a running elbow, dude. The people's elbow. Sorry, you're gonna stand over and go, and then you're gonna run. You're gonna run the ropes real quick, and then you're gonna do
over.
You know, like if you're gonna do, and I feel like this actually fits into the original category because again, this is just a running elbow drop, right? It was protected for the Rock, but it was so over, and literally he just goes bleep, 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 hit the rope, come back, and then do some more of this, or
except for that one he did where he slid across the ring before delivering it. That one was fucking dope, man. You gotta admit that one was dope.
I mean, this man doesn't even jump. He literally just goes.
No, he stops. Yeah, he stops his momentum dead after running ring to or like rope to rope too. Like he gets all this momentum and then he stops dead. It's like you didn't need to run, man. You could have just stood there and did that. And the other one I had written down is and rest in peace, but it's Umaga's Samoan Spike, where he just hits you in the throat with a thumb.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest, man. I think the Samoan Spike would hurt like hell. I mean, you get a man that big. It would hurt
your fucking thumb like hell, that's for sure.
It would hurt your fucking throat like hell.
Give one of those to Brock Lesnar and see you don't break your fucking thumb.
Yeah, but me as a little man, dude, I'm just imagining Umaga coming up to me and just jamming me in the throat with a damn thumb, and my ass would be dead. I would be on the ground, probably bleeding out because he had punctured my throat.
Can we just talk how impractical this is to do in like a fight? Like to go at somebody with your thumb?
It makes no sense to me. It never did. I was always like, dude, and the thing is, it's like, that is a man who could fucking pull off any power move that you gave him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he made a thumb look good. Like, he made it look good. It was just stupid. Like, it wasn't like it just looked like shit every time. Like, he was a big enough man where it's like, okay, like, yeah, you just hit him, but like give him like a spear or something, you know? Like, don't give Edge the spear. Give fucking Umaga a spear. Imagine taking one of those from him. Good Lord.
No, but remember, he did have that top rope splash that he used.
Yeah, which looked fucking...
Yeah, I mean, but that was kind of the predecessor to the finish. You know what I mean? So he'd like splash you and then stand you up and then hit you with it. So that kind of like quells Dozer being like, this doesn't really work during a fight, because if that man landed on me from the top rope, I would be out as well. So like I would just stand there and be like, please don't hit me again, sir.
That is very fair. I just have to point out something funny that's on my screen right now, because I had to look up the fastball punch from No Way Jose because I don't remember the finisher.
Oh,
I watched it. It's terrible. There's no need to share it. But the next video I have coming up is somebody took the time to piece together the top 20 moves of No Way Jose.
Oh, dude, I don't want to do this. I hate No Way Jose.
He had 20 moves? They let him wrestle that much?
He blew me a kiss once.
Aww.
But that's because I was giving him the finger.
Aww.
So, obviously, not watching that 3 minutes of hell, but somebody took the time to make that. Probably
That's pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible. Probably his mom. Thanks, Mama. Really great. You did a good editing job.
Dude, his gimmick was just fucking Adam Rose's, man. He just had the rosebuds, except he called it a conga line. And Adam Rose is now retired, and I think he had criminal mischief issues.
And he's fucking jacked.
Yeah, bro. He is fucking swole.
Yeah, no.
That motherfucker is huge.
That wasn't that. No. That's not Adam Rose. That's oh shit.
Adam Rose.
No. His other name.
Kruger or whatever.
Yeah,
Leo Kruger.
Yeah, Leo Kruger. That's Leo Kruger, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not a rosebud.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So now, on to tonight's main event! Sorry for our headphone users. We have Capital Combat 90, the return of RoboCop.
The return of RoboCop.
You will hear 5,000 times throughout the broadcast.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because they always have to say, Capital Combat 90, the return of RoboCop. Never parts of it. No. Always
And
And just for our listeners' information, this was not a promotion of a new RoboCop movie. This was not a promotion for RoboCop 2 or 3 coming out. This was a promotion for TBS getting the rights to air RoboCop on TBS. And that's what this was a promotion for. So just bear that in mind.
Which you could have paid $40 on VHS to own back in 1990.
Hell yeah.
Listen, before we get into this, all I'm going to say is I really hope the Wheel of Pain at the end of the show today is much nicer. Because I was promised that this wasn't going to be that bad of a show.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was.
Yeah, I lied.
I lied.
That,
it's that bad of a show, man.
In hindsight, it was worse than I remember.
Yeah, totally. Totally
God.
way worse. It was horrible.
Oh.
So before we get into this, I just want to clear the air because I talked a lot of shit last week while Shane was off mic about his awful mustache, and so this week, in solidarity and as sign of respect, I just want to zoom in on this just a little bit. I am sharing with the world the worst mustache you have ever seen. This makes fucking Shane's look like goddamn fucking like Burt Reynolds. You know what I mean? So anyway, just want to put that out there. Shane, I love you, baby. Sorry to make fun of you. This is for you. This little guy's for you. Come get your mustache ride.
Okay. And on that bombshell,
let's get back to Capital Combat, baby.
Capital Combat 90, the return of RoboCop. So the show opens. Typical patriotic package. Wrong song, but whatever.
Yeah, it was dead silent.
Oh yeah.
Like they went into that arena and like there were people standing on chairs, but there was nobody making any noise. It was silent.
They forgot to mic the crowd. So for our first match, we have Norman the Lunatic with the Road Warriors facing, what did they call them? Tough asses?
The tough guys.
The tough guys.
Bam Bam Bigelow, Cactus Jack, and Kevin Sullivan.
I mean, they were
Oliver
wrong.
Humperdinck.
Like, they were wrong with the team name. This is somehow either the second or third best match on this card. Like, depending on what you like or what you're in the mood for, this match is somehow in, like, the upper echelon. Like, if you pay $40, you're like, 10 of my dollars went to this. Because there's another match later in the card that is clearly the best by a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
there's one match is the best, and then there's so many turds floating around.
They're like two, like, I like this match straight up better than the main event. I think I like the main event. Okay, you agree? Okay.
I do.
But, like, the only fucking thing good about this match is Foley taking death bumps. There's this one spot in this match where Foley takes the running, just flying over chairs spot, and it's awesome. And then he takes a flying wooden steps to the head.
Well, no. So he gets thrown over the fucking railing into the chairs. He gets wrapped. He gets wrapped up in that folding chair completely. And as he's climbing back over the railing, out of nowhere, the steel or the ring steps just come flying and hit him in the back.
Like out of nowhere, they just go. Whoop.
Yeah, just bounce off him. And then he takes that spot where he gets one of the Road Warriors like hanging on the rope or something like that, and he just comes running full tilt, dives over the top rope,
Just
and he's
misses
going for
him.
he's like going for like some sort of neck breaker thing on the top rope, and like barely connects it, and he just no protection at all, and just goes fucking full lying. And you're
Yeah.
like, damn, Foley, you got a long career ahead of you. You better slow down.
Well, let's cover also the fact that WCW couldn't afford the insurance to have the Road Warriors ride their own bikes in.
They had two fucking mullet having locals ride their bikes in.
But Norman the Lunatic was okay to ride his scooter in.
Yeah,
Yes.
like me and Isaac were talking while watching this, and like obviously I didn't watch any of like the show leading up to this, so I don't know if maybe Jack and Bam Bam are like a tag team at this point or something. There are no feasible ways I can see this match getting set up. It's the Road Warriors, who are an actual tag team, plus the Bastion Booger, versus Bam Bam, Kevin Sullivan, and Cactus. And it's just like, how? Why?
They were just doing fucking Mad Blow in the back room and just picking names out of a hat, or it was just the people in the room doing coke with them.
Well,
like, yeah, you guys want to be in a match tonight? I got this great idea.
I mean, like Kevin, Jack, and Bam Bam kind of makes sense because they're all like hardcore tough dudes. So like they kind of make sense as a group, but where does that fit in with Booger and the Road Warriors? Like,
God, Kevin Sullivan is so bad. He's fucking trash.
He's
so bad in the ring. He was just a mess. He like made Norman look good. Sorry to any Bastion Booger fans out there, but good Lord.
I don't think there are.
No, they're all dead, just like Bastion.
Bastion Booger dead?
I'm not.
Probably.
God damn it! I got a fact check.
No,
now.
I got you, Dozer.
How many Pinocchios do I get for this motherfucker?
Oh yeah, no, he gone. Sorry, Bastion.
Yeah.
He's been dead a decade. Okay. That leads us to our second match of the night. Mean Mark Callis with Teddy Long in his first appearance of the night, defeating, I spoiled it, but who gives a shit, the legendary, the guy who will fire your ass left or right from WWE if Vince ain't taking the time to call you, Johnny Ace.
Johnny Ace with one of the worst mullets I've ever seen in my life.
And the Bella's stepdad.
Oh yeah, God. And Animal's brother.
Yeah, literally the only thing I remember from this match was Mean Mark. Two things. Sorry, I remember making the joke that this was John Laurinaitis versus The Undertaker because it was. But then also Taker does this. Sorry, Mean Mark does this rad like top rope walk into like this springboard elbow drop, which was
his finish. Yeah, it was a dope finish. It was like the predecessor to Old School almost.
It was better than Old School.
I think so, yeah, because you don't have someone holding your hand while you do it.
Yeah, I mean that was awesome. Literally, the rest of the match was just slow and boring. And
there was a couple moments. There was a couple moments where Taker got moving, and it was kind of cool to see him working a lot faster than you ever see him. There's like a point where he takes a monkey flip, and I was like, Jesus Christ! Like Taker just fucking took a monkey flip. But
yeah, but that was just because of his that's because of his WWE stuff. Like it was just a bad match, like in a vacuum.
Oh, the bad match. It was a bad match. Yeah, it wasn't very good. There was just some moments that you're like, man, that's really interesting. I think the thing that stood out the most for me in that match was actually JR on the commentary. And you could tell that he just fucking loves like he loves Undertaker. You could tell at that point because he's talking about his basketball career. He's just like putting him over like crazy. And it's just like JR in his prime, like doing what he does best. And that was like, yeah, that and the like the stupid heart punch into the top rope elbow drop. That was great. And then Teddy Long just being Teddy Long on the outside. You know.
No, that's Theodore. That's not Ted yet, brother.
Sorry, Theodore. Sugar Ray Theodore or whatever.
No, we don't see Sugar Ray till later.
But yeah, that was. I think the one thing about that match is that it didn't go too long.
It's one of the few non-20-minute matches on this card.
Yeah, everything else from here on out that actually is a real match is fucking just 20 minutes, except for the hair versus hair. Yeah, the hair versus hair.
That's not a real match.
So up next, we have the Samoan SWAT team, though they refuse to ever actually call them that. They just call them SST.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
Defeating,
they put it on the graphics, but they didn't say it.
Yeah, defeating Mike Rotunda with his high school theater ensemble that he stole from the back. And
the captain.
Yeah, Captain Mike Rotunda.
Wildcat, Tommy Rich.
Big Don, the Big Don, dude. Come on.
FBI, dude. You ever watched the ECW, brother?
He's a full-blooded Italian, bro. He's the Big Don.
Yes, but I'm going with the gimmicks they gave me here.
Oh God, yeah, that gimmick. Tommy Rich, dude.
Let me tell you, for the amount of talent that was in this match, this was just a disaster.
It was brutal.
Not as big of a disaster as the fucking Rock and Roll Express match later in this card. Sorry to give some spoilers, but I vividly remember the first 5 minutes of this match is them just posturing.
Oh, and it's them going out of the ring and getting upset.
Going out of the ring. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To do their oh God, yeah.
Yeah, and the bell rings, and this is match time, and this is on something that somebody paid $40 in the year 1990 for. And the first 5 fucking minutes of this match is the Samoan SWAT team and just getting out of the ring and yelling at people, and they have this 2-minute sequence where all they want to do is shake hands, and Mike Rotunda's let me get at him, and the ref's get away, and then they're okay, we're gonna go yell at the crowd some more, and then he slides back in, and it just happens over and
it's
over
almost
again.
it's the shit you would do during a commercial break, and they were doing it on a fucking pay-per-view. Legitimately, it's what you would do during a commercial break after you come into the ring, and they're just we're just gonna do the same thing anyway because why not?
My takeaway from this match was one. Honest question: did Rikishi get lighter? Or
he got heavier.
Well, he definitely. Well, it also leads me to think: did WCW make them darker?
I wonder.
Yeah,
Because
I mean they
wouldn't be past
definitely. You're
that.
right.
He definitely is not as dark as he used to be, but
Yeah, but he looked good. They walked out, and I'm oh, they look like the Usos, just tougher.
Yeah. They were a great fucking tag team.
they were.
Yeah.
They were good wrestlers. All of those guys were good wrestlers.
Yeah, this match was just awful. The only thing I think I enjoyed from this match was angry old white bastards really looking at Fatu and being yo, I could kick this fucker's ass.
There was a couple of
break you in half, and it's
was that no, that was God, the break you in half guy was later on, I feel
was it? I don't know.
Yeah, that was the guy who was getting at it with Michael P.S. Hayes. But no, but they did get into it with a couple of fat dudes in the audience, and you're just what? What in your brain thinks that you can fight this guy?
Okay. Let's just cover the fact that anytime they showed the crowd, I don't think there's anyone under 40 in the crowd.
No, old folks in that crowd. Yeah, but no, I about pissed myself. I was laughing so hard because there are people in that crowd that legitimately believe they could kick Fatu's ass. Me and Isaac agreed.
The same thing later on with Butch Reed and And Ron Simmons.
No. That's the match it was in. Yeah. That's definitely the match it was in. Because remember, like, Butch Reed, like, gets dropped on his head or something. He's like, I'm old white guy's like, I freaking break you in half.
No, the break you in half was definitely PSAs because I took a note. I definitely took notes on that because it was killing me. But no, like, there was the guy who was definitely like a scrawny white dude who wanted to fight fucking Ron Simmons and was like legit like, I am a white man and I can beat you up. And you're just, all right, good luck. The thing I took out of that SST match, the Samoan SWAT team match, is that Mike Rotunda can fucking sell. He can sell taking an ass whooping, because that's basically what the whole match was him getting the shit kicked out of him by the SWAT team.
Yeah.
And thinking about this card now, if you count the hair versus hair match, there's only 3 actual like one-on-one wrestling matches. If you don't count that, there's only 2. Everything else is Teddy Long because it's all tag team matches, brother.
I mean, which I don't have an issue with, man. Like, I love tag team wrestling. I've said forever that I think WWE should put on at least one pay-per-view a year that it's all tag team wrestling.
Well, the Wheel has pay-per-views that could make that happen.
Oh boy.
But let's get on to the highlight of the night. The match of the century. Paul Ellering facing
Precious Paul.
Facing Sugar Ray Theodore Long in a thankfully short match.
Almost too long.
No, that was the only thing good about it is how short it lasted.
Yeah, it was a minute 57. It was a minute 57, and it could have gone a minute, and it would have been just as good.
So happy to see Teddy had to load his glove.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, and I was like, when they actually pull the foreign object out of the glove, it looks like a tampon. It's just a little white tube, and you're like, "The fuck is that, dude?"
Well,
you smack him with a fucking tampon and knocked him out.
They didn't have the money to afford the roll of quarters.
No, it was it was the same shit that was in woman's glove. In the main event.
The same thing. They just recycled it for the main event.
I think it's just like athletic tape wrapped up in itself.
Yeah, who knows? It was something stupid.
Supposedly they had some world famous barber on to shave the hair.
And what, Missy Hyatt was the special guest ring announcer?
Yeah.
Was that Missy Hyatt? I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah. Yep. And then, so Teddy came in for his wrestling match dressed as a boxer. And then he got his glove pulled off, and then he got hit with the loaded glove. And 1, 2, 3, he was out, and they shaved his head. And
no, they didn't.
They cut his hair pretty short-ish. For a second,
and then he was like, "Oh, fuck this!"
Yeah.
It wasn't a battle of the billionaires shaving.
Yeah, and that was about it. That was about all that happened.
We've officially talked longer than the match was.
Yeah.
Is this where we get the segment? I don't have it on my rundown here. When we get the Sting segment.
No, this is the Four Horsemen interview next. And that's when you first get to see. Big boy,
Psycho
Sid Vicious in a suit with a bow tie, and it just makes him look. Oh man, I don't want to be cruel, but it really does make him look like he's dressed up for the senior prom at a school for special needs students. It was not a good look. You should never ever wear a bow tie ever again.
No, I believe that was it was when I made the comment during my first watch through this. Yes. That is the point that we all suddenly became interested in this shitty pay-per-view.
You're like, why is he wearing a suit?
You know, where did the ring go? Like.
Oh my God, he looks so confused and so
You don't
lost.
look very psycho. You look very domestic, Sid.
Yeah.
But the best part of that was Ric Flair came out and cuts just an amazing Ric Flair promo. Oh, completely over the top, doesn't stop yelling, and is fucking awesome. Just yelling at fucking Lex Luger, and I love it because Rick is just the fucking man.
Yep. And now we have the tag team match for the NWA United States Tag Team Championship. The Midnight Express facing Lion Brian and Z-Man.
The Tom Zank.
Dude,
Yeah.
what a match this was.
With Jim Cornette, and this is the thing, is they needed, seeing as the commercial for RoboCop already spoiled the fact that Sting was in the stupid cage. The only reason that they had the cage ringside was they needed a gimmick for RoboCop to do, and they couldn't do anything that involved him moving quickly. They couldn't do anything that involved him falling down because he couldn't get back up in the suit, and they couldn't do anything that involved him going upstairs, so he couldn't actually get in the ring. So they gimmicked this cage up, and then for no reason they put Jim Cornette in there. And like I've heard Jim Cornette shoot on this before, and he talks about how up until that point, like, you know, for the months leading up to that, they'd had been in this feud. Midnight had been in the feud with Flying Brian and Z-Man, and Flying Brian and Z-Man had been beating him, even with Cornette's interference. So it wasn't like they were putting him in the cage because he had been dastardly and like they kept losing because of his interference. They had been winning, and then the one time Jim Cornette's in the cage, as in their heels, they fucking they win the match and win the titles.
Well, dude, it was because
the booking made no sense on that at all.
I mean, let's talk about more booking that doesn't make any sense, and that's the stipulation, which was, oh wait, no, that's not even fucking. I'm getting fucking sidetracked and shit, dude, with this.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good because it's all tag team matches, and
it's all tag team matches, and you have the Midnight Express and the Rock and Roll Express in separate matches.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
And you're so used to, and it was weird seeing Rock and Roll on the same card as Jim Cornette and not having him manage them, even though he spent so much time as Midnight's manager. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I just see him like, if I think of Cornette as a manager, I think of Rock and Roll. I always do.
I don't remember any fucking thing about this match at all. Like, I remember being okay with it. Like, it wasn't the worst thing I've seen.
Yeah. It was decent for, especially considering everything else on the card. It was just dumb because there was no reason for the cage.
It's dumb because it was 20 minutes long.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was so long.
But you did get to see like the ref who looks like a grown-up butthead clothesline Jim Cornette to get him into the cage, which was pretty sweet. And Flying Brian has that flying double clothesline where they did like the slingshot where he was on the outside on the apron holding the ropes, and Z-Man was on the inside holding the ropes, and he pulled the rope and slingshotted Brian over into the double clothesline. And it's just cool. Like, it was a super cool move. It was super unique, something I'd never seen before. Actually, I've never seen since. And so that was cool. But yeah, like that was just it was a match. It wasn't bad by any means, but it wasn't great. It wasn't good.
It could have went 10 less minutes and it would have been better than what it was.
Yes, it would have been great had it gone about. But all those guys could go. Pillman was great to watch in his prime.
Pillman never left it. Pillman died in his prime.
Yeah, but even still, like he wasn't wrestling as much in WWF.
For sure.
Yeah.
But hey, at least Shane got what he always wanted. He saw Cornette locked up.
Yeah, but he wasn't shut up, which is what he wants.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a certain picture that was sent to the group. They saw it.
Jeez. I love you, Jimmy. I don't care what Shane says.
Okay, now we get to the segment of the night. The highlight of the commercial.
the return of RoboCop.
And Sting.
So we should flash back real quick to the backstage interview earlier on where they're outside RoboCop and Sting's shared locker room, and the announcer is talking about how
that was who was that?
Gordon Soley.
Yeah, it was Sully, and he's so good. He's too good for this. He's way too good for that. But he was there talking about how Sting wanted to come and address his fans, but the little stingers, all the little stingers out there. He's worried about them because the Four Horsemen had made veiled threats, and so he needed to bring RoboCop in to protect the little stingers. And then flash forward to when he comes out, they go back to Gord and Sully again, and they have the worst like pre-taped segment of RoboCop coming out of the locker room, and for some reason it like messes up the camera, and like so all you can see is like a bunch of static, and then like a RoboCop foot, and then like it's more static because some reason RoboCop messes up all the cameras except for the ones that are actually inside the auditorium. Yeah, the DC Armory.
So the Four Horsemen then come, and they somehow Sting runs out doing I don't know what.
Yeah, he runs out way ahead of RoboCop for some reason. Like he's got RoboCop there as
he's so excited to be back. He was so excited to be back because he hadn't been seen in a while because he was hurted. So he said, "I'm gonna go kick their fucking asses for my little stingers," and he gets locked in a cage.
Even though
like
I can't wrestle.
Idiot. He gets locked in a cage like an absolute idiot, dude.
So dumb.
And fucking Ole and Arn are like, "Hoo, we got you in here," and here comes big man fucking RoboCop.
And he just bends those bars like they were made of rubber. And he pulls the freaking door right off of there, and he stares. He stares at the Four Horsemen with a look that would fucking like just sear a hole right through your goddamn soul.
It's his look literally all the time.
And yeah, exactly the same look because he's wearing a mask, and it scares the bejesus out of those Four Horsemen, and off they go. And that was really the whole thing. That was like what the return of RoboCop was about.
We named a pay-per-view after this shit.
Yeah. And then the weird thing is like they do the exact same thing later on, minus the cage, just with the giant.
Oh, don't even. Oh, I'm gonna.
El Gigante.
Speaking of things that have gone on too long, we have our next matchup here. The Rock and Roll Express.
Can we talk about the interview though? Can we talk about the Junkyard Dog interview?
Yes.
and how he comes back and like he looks tough as hell still. Like he looks like he kicks some ass. He's definitely at the end of his career there. But he cuts like his typical promo. And he says some shit about this is why I never went to school. Like he like shoots about how like school sucks, kids don't go to school, and then Jim Cornette comes out, and Jim Cornette starts yelling at him about how this is supposed to be rock and rolls this is supposed to be Midnight's time to talk about their championship win, and how where the hell have you been the last couple of years anywhere where these guys were winning belts? And he says, where have you been anyway? And Junkyard Dog gives him an address at like 388 Maryworth Street in Louisville, Kentucky. Jim Cornette goes, that's my mother's house. And Junkyard Dog goes, that's right, I'm your daddy. It was so dumb, but it was so well set up that it just fucking I popped for it. I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
God.
And then we get into the next match, but it was a really random feeling interview. It felt like it didn't belong on the card at all. I was like, what is JYD doing here? But all right. Every dog has a bone, and I found my bone.
Isn't this around when they start advertising the return of Sting too? Where the guy's like, yeah, by the way, Sting is returning in like 3 weeks or something.
Yeah,
even
the next pay-per-view.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah, the ring announcer does a upcoming shows thing, and one of the upcoming shows is the return of Sting.
But without RoboCop this time.
Yeah, it's just the return of Sting, thankfully.
So next we have hold on, am I reading this right?
Whoa.
What the fuck is a corporal punishment match? We have a corporal punishment match between the Rock and Roll Express defeating the Freebirds, Jimmy Jam Garvin, and Michael P.S. Hayes. Because They can't say Jimmy Garvin. They have to say Jimmy Jam, which just
Jimmy Jam.
maybe
Yeah,
would order a damn sandwich.
A corporal punishment match is a match that nobody seems to know the stipulations on, because the announcers start by saying that each team, whoever's in the ring, is going to have a strap on their wrist. And then when they get in the ring, the referee ties the straps to the ring posts. And the referee's like, oh, I guess they're on the ring posts, and they can only use them when they get in the corner. And then when they actually do use them, like the 2 times they use them, they just pull them out and slap Michael PSA's in the back so he high steps around the ring. But like, it's
the
one of
only
those.
good thing.
Yeah, it was really probably. Well, I mean, watching Ricky Morton work is Ricky Morton is fucking great. He's definitely the best thing in this match. Michael Hayes, as entertaining as he can be, is a garbage wrestler. Jimmy Garvin was old.
Jimmy Jam.
And Jimmy Jam Garvin was old, and he was gassed. He was fucking like 45,000 gallons of jam floating around that ring. It was not pretty to watch.
Dude, don't disrespect my man Bob Gibson here, dude. You didn't even mention Big Bob. Last week.
So they did have the earlier on, they had the rock and roll interview, and we didn't talk about this, but the interview. So Robert Gibson gives his interview, and then Ricky Morton starts talking, and Robert Gibson just starts doing sign language, man, and he's rocking the sign language. And I was telling Dozer, I'm like, I don't know what's more distracting, his lazy eye or the fucking sign language in the middle of this guy's. And oh my god, yeah, the fucking.
Oh, we were laughing our asses off.
Dying.
No, because you specifically told me. I was like, I'm gonna go text or something. You're like, no, like you gotta pay attention.
You gotta watch. You gotta watch.
I'm like,
him.
why? And he just starts going. Like, I don't even think it was real sign language. I think
definitely not.
He's like, I'm going to go there, and I'm going to take you, and I'm going to snap you, and I'm going to punch you in the mouth. God, yeah.
Just to get back to the actual match, though, it's just another thing where, like, at one point or another, and in some ways, everybody in this match was very talented. Rock and Roll are very good at this point still. I mean, they're still good to this day. And you know,
they're the current NWA Tag Team Champions.
Are they still Tag Team Champions?
I know they won recently. I didn't know they were still Tag Champions.
Well, we're in the coronavirus world. Nothing's happening.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, and then you know, P.S. Hayes and Jimmy Jam Garvin, you know, that were, you know, both had talents and things. This match was so long; it was discombobulated. No one knew what was happening. It was boring. I literally
nobody knew like the stipulation. Nobody understood the stipulation. So like there was no.
It's something where, like, I understand that, like, maybe during a gimmick match you want to kind of save the gimmick till the end, but this was one where it didn't matter. Like, me and Isaac were talking, and it's like, this is not a stipulation that's going to get you pinned. Like, we both liked him, like, high stepping, because again, that's not going to put you out. That's just going to hurt like a motherfucker. Like, it's going to hurt so bad. So, like, PSA's selling, I think, is real because it just hurt like hell. But why not work that in as early and often as possible rather than, like, saving it for this big moment where it's just like,
yeah.
Oh, and PSA is like.
And then you don't see it again. Like, they use the belts, like, minimally the whole match. It's like, what was the point? I think the funniest thing
it's not even a belt. It's like a series of ropes.
It was like a whip of some sort.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, my no is yawn. Is this still going on? And I'm not sure why straps are involved, and I'm still not sure why straps are involved. But I think one of the things that was interesting about it is Rock and Roll were definitely face in this match. Freebirds were definitely heel. But the Rock and Roll kept working heel shit into the match. Like, behind the referee's back, they were taking, like, they would switch spots. They'd do blind tags behind the referee's back and shit. And they're like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, they like throw them out and double team them and shit, yeah.
Yeah, but I think my favorite thing about the match was when they finally pull out the straps and the announcers, you got Jim Ross and Bob talking about about them just getting the shit kicked out of them by their dads as kids. But I'll tell you what, I remember getting taken to the woodshed by my daddy a couple times. I never skipped school again. You're like, oh, that doesn't sound pleasant. You guys got really beat up by your parents. Yeah. It sounds awful.
He really beat the shit out of me, man. I didn't even look at him again, man. Like, he beat the shit out of me so bad I couldn't see for about 2 weeks. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we got the shit kicked out of us. Woohoo!
Yeah, it was just like, I was like, all right, yeah, beating kids. That's awesome.
That went on for 18 and a half minutes.
Oh, it was so long and it was so bad. It was one of the worst. It was one of the worst matches of the night.
Luckily, we get a nice palate cleanse. We get a very good match after that.
We get the best match.
Yes, we do. Although we do get the interview with the world's strongest man.
Not Mark Henry.
Yeah, I know, which is bullshit. Some dude named Doug Furness, and I was like, "That's not Mark Henry." I'm like, talk about light. That motherfucker got dark and big. Like, world's strongest man definitely changed when he went from WCW to WWF, man.
How he get 400 pounds?
Yeah, dude, Hall of Pain.
We have so in this match we have Doom with Theodore Long in his best outfit of the night.
Yeah, Big Butch Reed and Ron Simmons, man.
Facing the Steiner brothers.
Wearing the ugliest fucking ring attire I have ever seen, dude. There's like a block M. It's blue and yellow, dude.
Oh God, yeah. He's talking about the jackets. I'm talking about the ring gear itself. Y'all can hate all you want. I think the jackets look good, but I tell you what, those onesies, those neon red, pink, and neon yellow. Ooh, not a good look.
Listen, I'll take the shitty fucking leotards, onesie, whatever, dude. I'll take whatever that is over those ugly fucking ring jackets every day.
Listen, just because you live in Ohio and Drew Carey is like the best thing you got doesn't mean you have to shit on Michigan.
The ring jackets weren't bad. They were varsity jackets. They're supposed to be collegiate wrestlers. It made fucking sense.
Shane's just bitter because he's from Ohio and he hates Michigan.
Look, there's nothing wrong with hating Michigan.
There's nothing wrong with the state. I'm just talking about the university, but that's for a different podcast.
Yeah,
it's okay.
What university did you go to, Shane?
Oh, none, dude.
School of Hard Knocks, bro.
I'm just going to put it out there. Fuck Penn State.
Okay, word.
Yeah, me too.
Fuck higher education, man. That shit's a joke, man. You're trying to rob motherfuckers.
I went to the discount version. Kutztown, an Amish country.
Oh, man, you got an Amish education, so you can build a horse cart.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
How'd you pass horse and buggy class, brother? You get an
A? C-.
Oh, shit, man. You couldn't control it?
Well, parallel parking is tough with a horse.
Yeah. Hit a couple cars. Okay.
All right. Steiner.
So, best match of the night.
Easily. Oh, it was so good.
Lot.
Just watching those guys beat the shit out of each other. It was a good big man match. It was fast-paced. It could have fit on a card in AEW, it felt like at points.
No. It could have fit in New Japan, dude. This was like a New Japan match.
It was hard hitting. It was good. It was really fucking good. The Steiner lines that they gave, like the back and forth with the big guys trying to hit each other with clotheslines and bouncing off each other. There's just a lot of fucking meat in that fucking ring.
There's one spot in this match, and then Dozer, I'm gonna let you go. There's one spot in this match that I really remember, other than that horrible like poison Steiner-Rana thing that they did that didn't look very good.
The botched Frankensteiner that they tried to do like 3 times.
Yeah, but then it ended up being like a poison Rana where like he flipped on like the back of his head shit. There's this one spot, and me and Isaac about pissed ourselves laughing, where I think it was Rick suplexing Ron. I'm pretty sure. But he gives him like this neck German suplex. I mean, and he lands flush on the top, and he immediately rolls out, and he's just looking at Theodore. He's looking at Theodore Long, and he's like, man, I don't want to go back in there, man. Like,
I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, and like he
I'm
like
done.
rolls back in and he immediately tags Butch, and Butch is looking at him like, I don't want to go either, man.
I don't want to do that either.
So like every single time they tag in and out, they're just like, fuck, god damn, no, like I don't want to do this shit again, man. Like,
Yep. And Rick and Scott too were like battling for like two of the worst haircuts on the card. You had Rick who had like the Eugene haircut. He looked like fucking Eugene. And then you had Scott with just the worst fucking Joe Exotic mullet you've ever seen.
I'm just going to say, as someone who's not watched this era of wrestling, like, I'm just picking pay-per-views at random. I've never really watched early 90s wrestling at all. WWE, WCW, any of it. This is the only match that made me go, yeah, I want to go look at these guys' back catalog. I want to watch Doom matches. I want to watch old Steiner brother matches.
Yeah.
I watched this. I didn't get a feeling. I wanted to go back and watch the Samoan SWAT team, as good as they may be. I didn't feel like I need to go watch either of the Express's matches, but I watched this and I went, I need to watch some fucking Doom.
Yep. And Ron Simmons is fucking money. You see him in the ring. I mean, Butch too, but something about Ron Simmons just stands out. Maybe it's because you know, like just how badass he is. But yeah, damn. But yeah, he was so fucking good. It was such a good.
Ah, shit.
Such a good match.
Oh,
Doom won the Steiners. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the Doom won the championships. They won them off the Steiner brothers. Like, the finish was a little screwy. It wasn't the best finish, but none of the finishes were really all that fucking well thought out. It felt like.
I mean, that's a product of the early '90s. That's not a product of this match. That's a fucking Jim Crockett thing, dude.
It was Jim Herd who was doing that shit.
Oh, was that Jim Herd?
Yeah, it was Jim Herd at that time.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing is with this match is all four of these dudes are believable badasses. Like look wise, as far as their actual like reputation goes, all four of these dudes are legitimate badasses, and they went into the match and they treated it like that. They beat the piss out of each other. Like everything was like it was crisp in a clunky way, if that makes sense. It was crisp to the point where it looked like a real fight some of the time, where it was just like something might connect as well as you wanted it to, but it was also more real because it actually hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like so like everything they did looked so legit and real, and like you don't want any part of what was going on in that match.
Yeah. And they worked super snug. They worked real snug with each other, and it just, when you have big guys who look strong, they're really connecting with each other. There's just something about matches like that where they all can go that it felt like the whole match you didn't want to stop watching.
Yeah, I mean, and the Steiners came out looking just as good as when they came in. I mean, again, like I know we talked about this earlier, but the Butch Reed, the Butch Reed and Ron, like continually tagging in and out and just looking like they don't want any fucking part of the Steiners was awesome. Yeah, like, it was funny, but it was also totally believable because I was like, I don't want to take that. Like, I don't want anything to do with that.
And it also felt like the only match of the night where they actually told a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a very like complicated story by any means, but it was a story of like, these guys are tough as nails. We're getting hit really hard. Like, how do we beat them? And like, and that was it. And it was simple, but it was like they told it. They told it well. And easily the best match of the night.
Definitely. I enjoyed it way more. And it earned its 19-minute runtime.
Yeah. It didn't feel like it went long. It didn't feel like there was anything super unnecessary. The only thing that felt like off about the match was like the botched Frankensteiner spot.
Yeah. And,
where they're trying to set up for that. And even that didn't look too bad. It was just like...
I mean, it looked like a disaster in a good way, though.
Yeah, it looked painful.
I choose to believe that this was the main event of the night. The next match is the dark match they had to send the fans home happy.
Oof.
I don't know if they'd go home happy after watching this. I wouldn't have been, but
I would not have been.
next
No.
we have a steel cage in a cell match-ish thing with Lex Luger versus Ric Flair with
All right.
Nature Boy.
woman. The worst gimmick we could ever think about. What's her name? Woman.
Whoa, man. Yeah. It's
right.
still not the worst thing that's happened to her.
No.
No.
Oh, damn it, Isaac.
Hey, I'm still here, everybody.
So just as a little bit behind the scenes stuff, me and Isaac watched this entire pay-per-view together other than this match. The WWE Network is a fucking piece of shit garbage application. It never works. It can go fuck itself.
What? 2 weeks ago, we were all watching Money in the Bank somewhat together for those shit show matches.
And it worked fine.
The live stream
no,
stuff
it
works.
didn't work. It didn't work fine because I'd be reacting to something that happened 10 seconds later for Isaac and 15 seconds later for Shane.
That's
I
funny.
don't know. But
Plus,
I mean,
I did freeze when Bruce Pritchard showed up.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But anyways, the buffering was so bad on my end, I just said, fuck it, I'll watch it by myself. I just want to, because I live messaged the group.
Do you want to read it or should I read it?
You can read it if you want. I may have been slightly inebriated.
Hey, so
but yeah, Isaac, if you want to read my
let me go and find this. Let me go and find this for you.
This is my entire feeling on this match, and I'll elaborate a little bit later. But yeah, I think it's a good amalgamation of what happened.
Oh, it was a fucking disaster of a match. I don't know what the rules were going on during this thing. You know,
finish.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with a quote from Jim Ross that Shane shared with us. And the quote is, "The pageantry of Capital Combat 90, the return of RoboCop." And I think that sums it up. You know, it was pageantry. It was beautiful pageantry. And Shane says, so I'm just going to read these messages off for you guys. So also, I think this is a Hell in a Cell match. Also, Lex is so wet and Flair is so dry. What a weird looking contrast. Why is the ref confiscating foreign objects from Nancy? They're in an actual metal fighting cage. Lex cannot pin without taunting. Also, isn't that supposed to be a gimmick match? Where's the gimmick? Oh, wait, there goes Luger. Announced team has no clue what's happening. The Flair buckle bump into getting caught flying by a clothesline into a Flair bump into trying to climb out of the cage with a tapered top. Why do they keep trying to climb? I'm so confused. Is this no DQ or just a weird cage match? Can they repeat the same spot more than 4 times? Can I handle another Luger clothesline? Head being bashed into cage. Okay. Holding on to ropes for figure 4? Not okay. Oh my fucking God. RoboCop is going to come back out. That is not fucking RoboCop. Is that fucking Giant Gonzalez? Isn't Sting hurt or something? I'm buffering again. Oh, Christ. It's a DQ. Oh, that's so bad. The cage keeps rising and falling. What a mess. This pay-per-view was awful. Why isn't the Giant beating up the Horseman? Why is he just standing on the outside of the ring like a fucking weirdo? Why do I keep buffering? So this pain is elongated. The Giant is still just standing there. He did nothing. Christ alive. Finn.
That is my entire feeling on the match.
And that's a pretty succinct recap of the match too.
The thing that bothered me the most is you have the cage going up and down. Okay. Why couldn't you have a camera on Ole and like a production guy like pulling a remote or something back and forth to make that make fucking sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
They're
It's
just
like
like,
even if you have one of the people who's got like one of the handheld cams on the side of the ring run back, right, to get the shot, would have looked great.
Yeah.
But instead we're just left being like, what's happening?
Yeah, Ole's like, they're like, Ole's doing it. I'm like, I don't see Ole anywhere. And then like, here comes Sting, and then here comes fucking Humberto Carrillo as an actual giant, looking like a 4-year-old,
El Gigante.
like coming out, and he's just like, here he
Hi. And he just stands there, and it's the exact same spot from earlier with RoboCop where he just stands there.
No, RoboCop at least pulled some shit off. The giant literally stares at the horsemen who are running away, and he just stands there and goes, okay, bye, guys.
And there's that point, too, where Sid Vicious and him are just sort of standing next to each other. And you're just like, what? What's going on? Are you guys not going to acknowledge that, like, you're both supposedly, like, hate each other and not going to do anything? You're just going to stand there and eventually just run away?
Yeah, I mean, like, to bring this back in before I keep screaming about the finish of the match itself was bad, but it was elevated by Flair being Flair, other than the fact he kept on trying to climb the fucking tapered cage that you can't get out of because it's tapered. He's like, I'm so scared of getting clotheslined again for the 90th time this match by Lex Luger. I'm going to climb. And Luger goes, oh, no, you're not.
And the announcers are struggling to like explain why he keeps climbing.
Yeah.
He's just trying to get away from him.
Which I think we need to take a moment to explain for people who have not watched this shit show. This is not a modern cage. This is not going around the ring. This is a Hell in a Cell style cage going around the entire ring area.
And then it's got a tapered roof. It's not a roof, but it's tapered in so you can't get in or out.
Yeah, it's like a prison cage.
Yeah. So there's no so him climbing made no sense. He did get some color, and we got the classic Ric
Flair got color in a match. No,
yeah. So we got the classic Ric Flair hair dye job, which I always love. I don't care. It's if he does it every match. It's a great spot. It always looks good. He bleeds like nobody else, and his hair always just goes from the bleach blonde to just crimson red and pink by the end of the match.
It looks awesome.
It's great. It's a great visual.
Yeah.
Rick sells. He made Luger look good, which is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, all he did was just take clothesline.
Yeah.
Literally, the whole match was just, you ready? Clothesline, Luger, like, look at the crowd going, yeah! And then trying to pin him.
Yeah, and so it's, wasn't very exciting. And then to throw in a DQ finish in a cell match, in a cage match.
Wait, hold on.
See, there was precedent for the Fiend.
I was going to say, I think we've seen this before.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah.
I don't even want to talk about this anymore.
No.
Like, that pay-per-view gets like a 2 out of 10 simply for Foley taking death bumps and then the
Doom match.
Steiner match. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I totally.
I'm not going to disagree there.
And then, but Rick at the end of the match does come out and cut a promo.
It just makes no sense.
It was great. He's fucking nuts. It was awesome. I loved it. I loved every second of it.
So, on that incredible bombshell, I have some good news for Shane, some bad news for Isaac.
Oh God! Did you just spin? Did we spin the wheel?
Well, we have to discuss for a moment. Do we do a wheel? We have Double or Nothing this weekend.
Oh, we do, huh?
I think that we do. I mean, here's the bottom line: is that we cannot film Double or Nothing. Like, if we whatever, blah blah, like we can't do that, or else we're gonna get banned in Afghanistan again.
Oh, we're not going to film what we do. We're going to watch it together via this method.
Yes.
But we can do a review show, but it might be hampered because we've already watched it. Guys, you are watching our creative process live.
I think that it is this weekend. Yeah, so
should we just spin the wheel for the hell of it?
Let's spin the wheel. Let's spin the wheel. Just because it's fun to spin the wheel. It feels like we're going to win something.
Worst case, we bump it out a week.
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, we can bump it out a week. That'll give us a lot of time to watch it and really digest it if it's good, or push it off if it's bad.
So this is for 2 weeks from now, or potentially this week coming up, depending on how Double or Nothing is.
Oh, come on, Lockdown 2009.
Don't come on Lockdown. I gotta find that shit then for us to watch. I have it on DVD.
Damn, you really spun the hell out of that.
Yeah, it's fucking going, dude.
Shit!
Yeah, dude! Let's go!
Let's go, Lockdown. Let's go, Lockdown.
Shit, I gotta find this for us to watch.
Oh man.
What's a good thing? It's 2 weeks away.
Yeah. So what is your good news for Shane?
Well, the good news for Shane was we're watching AEW.
Apparently,
that's why it's bad news for you.
The good news keeps coming, man. I wanted Lockdown. We got Lockdown. We're watching Orange Cassidy, baby. You know, hands in the pockets, baby. You know, blase, baby. Why you have an issue with it because it's...
Hey, I just want to point out, look at the top of the wheel. I added 3 things for you guys.
What do you got there?
I saw that. Our picks.
Yeah, where we could just pick whatever the hell we wanted.
All right.
Nice.
My first pick is going to be the 38-second video of Tetsuya Naito suplexing Kota Ibushi on the ring apron.
Just over and over again.
Yeah, we're just going to watch that for about an hour and then move on.
Nice.
So I got to find a way for all of us to watch Lockdown 2009. God, I hope I can find it on Pluto or something.
I'm sure we'll be able to find it somewhere.
Or I got to subscribe to fucking TNA's subscription service and pull that shit up. And
I've been thinking about doing that anyways, man.
Why?
He's a TNA mark. He loves their old shit.
I fucking love old school TNA, dude. I do, man. Like when they first like post when they did like every event was a pay-per-view, and like they had like Jarrett and Abyss and like Styles and Joe and Christopher Daniels. Dude, they were every bit as good as WWE around that time. Every bit as good. And then Hogan came.
In some ways better. In a lot of ways they were better.
I mean,
in ring quality.
I mean, yeah. I mean, dude, I've shown Isaac a couple matches from TNA around that time, and he's been really impressed with both. That fucking 6 Sides of Steel match with Daniels and Skipper and America's Most Wanted. Yep.
I'm not that disappointed in watching this because I was there. I saw this event. The main event is Mick Foley versus Sting. Way out of their primes. But hey.
Hell yeah, it is.
Oh, I'm excited to watch that, dude.
And there's an awesome Kong spot in this event.
Don't give it away, Dozer. Just take us to the exit reel, dude. Come on.
We don't have an exit. We don't have an outro. That's the problem. We just eventually decide to say goodbye, thank you, fuck you, bye.